You do what it do, what it do. Y'all seen the caption. You do what it do. Y'all seen the title of the video, so I'm gonna get straight to it. Y'all see, what was the year like for Prime Inc? Before I get to the details, before I get there, everything that happened January 29th from now, I'm not gonna add that because that was a series of very unfortunate events. If y'all been watching my videos, shout out to Flock World. If you in this video, this Flock World. We here. We all fam. But yeah, it's a long story with that. I gotta watch other videos. But overall, Prime Inc. How is it? It's been a year. I wanted to make that video, but you know. But overall, this is coming from a person who never had a CDL. So I never had a CDL before Prime, and I got in Prime. I applied to hella jobs, KLM, a couple others, but Prime was the one that hit me back. Grateful for that. I'm never gonna hold them against, because that's the reason why y'all seeing this video. Most of y'all here for the trucking content, so I give them their praise for that. Now, my experience with Prime Inc. It's decent. It's decent. So once y'all get into Prime, this was gonna happen. There's 3 terminals. You got Salt Lake City in the west, Springfield, Missouri, and you got Piston, Pennsylvania. It's 3 parts. So I was in Springfield. So they're gonna give you a bus ride or plane, barely, but they're gonna give you a bus ride. I went from Chicago to Springfield. The Greyhound is absolutely terrible. If you have the transportation, it means do it, because you're going to be on that bus for like a whole day damn near. It's terrible. But besides that, so you there, you're at orientation, which lasts like for the weekend. Now, the things you put in your job application, your jobs, your driving history, they're going to spin the block and they're going to say, do that again. So make sure what you put down is what you put on this one. So I seen people come all the way to Springfield and get the hell out because it didn't add up. I seen people who had a court date. One of my dogs, he was one of my roommates, like the first or second roommate. He had a court date that was coming up. They said you got to go home because you got to resolve this first. So be mindful on that if y'all got like a court date or stuff like that. So now you're done with orientation. You passed them 3 days. Now it comes to PSD training. PSD training, you're going to have a trainer who's going to teach you and prepare you to pass the CDL test. The CDL test consists of back-end like maneuvers, city driving, and naming the compartments of the engine, the like everything in the truck. You got to name them. Now, you ain't gonna get all 100 right, but that's part of it. Now, this process takes 2 weeks. Sometimes you're going to have someone else who's getting their CDL too with you. So it's going to be like 2 students in the training, sometimes 3 in the training. There's 2 different types of trainers too. One trainer, he's a person or a woman that's going to be always on the road. We gone. We got a load going here to Kansas City. We got a load going here to That happens a decent amount of time for those type of people. But they come back. Y'all getting the real life experience early. So that's a good thing. Now, my trainer, we had 1 load that lasted a day, but we came back. So most of my experience was literally on the pad, backing, maneuver, backing. We did a couple city driving, and we went back to campus every single day. So that was my experience, which I liked because I got more time to practice not parking, but maneuvers, which was the thing I was lacking. So for me, I liked that. That was good. Now, once you take the test and you pass it, if you pass all 3, the trifecta, you get a little bonus money. You get a little something. And also, Prime will give you money throughout that time period in between, because you're going to be going there broke sometimes. So they're going to give you money, and eventually you're going to have to pay them back once you pass. So keep that one in mind. So now you pass. You officially got your CDL. You're officially a member of Prime Inc. Now, TNT. TNT has been changing. It's been different. When I got TNT, it was 50,000 miles. Now it's 30. Who knows what's gonna be like now? Who knows? But it took me like 2-3 weeks at home. Yeah, it was like 3 weeks. I stayed at home before I got my trainer, and we was on the road. Now keep in mind, if your trainer drives 500 miles and you drive 500 miles, that's 1,000 miles in training. So be mindful of that. You ain't gotta do that by yourself. So mindful of that. And another thing with your trainer, this is your trainer who you're gonna be in the same place for 2 months, damn near, maybe 3. If you don't get along with your trainer, or you feel like your trainer, he's not, woo woo woo, let him know. Don't be afraid to ask, because at the end of the day, this is the last line of defense. This is the person who's teaching you how to drive a semi-truck, and you're going to be by yourself. So be mindful of that, because communication is key. Because, you can go to New York for the first time ever, and then you see the Statue of Liberty, then you tap him, and you say, oh, look, there goes Statue of Liberty, and he going to be like, yeah. And then two minutes later, he going to say, oh, there go the Statue of Liberty. And you're going to look at him like, you didn't even know what I just said. And this is the first week. So communication is going to be difficult. I'm just giving examples, off the top. But yeah, so just be mindful of that. But then once you come back, you got your miles in, you're good. You are going solo if you want to. Now, you got 2 choices. Choose wisely. You got lease. You got company. Now, there's different strokes for different folks. My position ain't your position ain't mine. What's good for me, it might not be good for you. What's good for you may not be good for me. Factors like a house, mortgage, rent, car note, wife, girlfriend, kids. All these plays a factor because you got kids, something like that. You may want to do this. If you ain't got none, you may want to do this. Me, I jumped into lease straight up. One, I wanted to get the LLC, get that out of the way, and plus, I like that freedom of like, I can go here, I go here, I can come home when I want to. Now, with lease, I had the power to go home more than company. I just didn't want to go home. I'm not gonna lie. I love being out on the road. Homie's like, yeah, he ain't never coming back. He gotta pay that truck. I just like being out. That was literally what it was. I was just like being out. I didn't feel like sitting. But keep in mind with this one. You got to pay a lease payment. So every week, they're going to deduct, whether that's $1,200 to $1,400 from your check every single week. So that first load you get for that pay period, that's not your money. That's the truck's money. So be mindful on that. And also be mindful, if you sitting, that truck payment going to hit. I don't care if you got a flat tire. I don't care if you finna retire. I don't care if you about to wash the wire. That lease coming up. Like that lease is gonna come up regardless. Don't matter what your situation is. Until you give them their truck back, that's the only way the lease gonna stop. So just be mindful of that. If you got some bread put up, that's good. I recommend that. Highly recommend that. I can't tell too much about company because I never did company. So these are just my perspective of someone who's fresh, hopping in the game. So take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. Now, my experience doing OTR overall with Prime, I loved it. If I say, hey, can you send me here? He'll send me there. If I say, I don't want to drive on the West Coast, or I don't want to drive to New York, he'll send me there. So like, my lease manager was cool. I say my lease manager. Yeah, my fleet manager, he was cool. So it's just like communication. That's another thing. If you have communication with your manager, have understanding. Like, hey, can you send me here? Hey, I don't want to go here. You can do that. You have to have communication, and then whatever your situation will be better for you. Now, the checks I got, like, I'm going to say the gross. Like, if you gross 5,000, you good. You good. Keep in mind, that 5,000 minus the lease, minus the fuel. So when you swipe your card, you put like 200 in the tank. That 200 is coming off your check. So be mindful when you fuel. One of the OGs out there on the road said, if the pay period is Wednesday at 6 and you driving, don't put fuel on a Wednesday at 12 p.m. Don't do that. Wait until tomorrow to get fuel, because that fuel you just took is come Friday, boom, that's off your check. So it taught me to be mindful on the road, because when you're a rookie truck driver, you're learning as you go, especially if you had a certain type of TNT experience where most of the stuff you had to learn by yourself because the communication wasn't very key in the time you said, I want to get a switch new train. They say, oh yeah, you good, so obviously you ready to get out the truck, so you're going to do that. But most of the experience I learned on trial and error. Of course, there's a lot of meh. I learned not to care about that, the outside noise. Shout out to the supporters. But yeah, so like that's the part that I learned, and it was just a great experience. Travel the country. If you like never travel, that's a great part about this. And also, you get your CDL for free. You get your CDL for free, but you just gotta work a year. Now, most cases, if you're a rookie truck driver, you want to go home. Everybody wants to go home, at least regional. But they not gonna let nobody with zero experience do local in most cases. Unless you got the plug connections, it ain't gonna happen. So in most cases, they want a year experience, 6 months to a year. Once you get a year, it's open. So you gotta work for Prime for a year to get your CDL for free. Now just be mindful. Be mindful in this. You have to work the year. So if you, because like say it's $4,000 to get your CDL, $4,000. You work 6 months. That's still $4,000. You work 8 months. That's still $4,000 you owe. You work 11 months and 25 days. Guess what? That's still $4,000 you owe. So don't jump that gun too quick, because you still gonna owe them. That's the one thing that's kind of trash. That's the one thing I'm pissed. I wish it was like, okay, we're gonna take everything you do. We're gonna take piece to piece, take it from you instead of that. But you know what? It is what it is. But like I said, my overall experience with Prime, if you're a new rookie and you never drive a truck and you try and get your CDL, I would say do it. I highly recommend it. My camera died, so that's the reason why I switched. That's another thing. Prime is one of them companies that like, they will let you do your content. They're not going to say, hey, don't do this. Hey, no, boom, boom, boom. Of course, you got stipulations. Don't record and drive into certain things, but it's like, that's nothing I can't even lie. It helped me boost my name on social media when it comes to YouTube. Like I had 200 subscribers. I just put Prime in majority of my videos. And now it's like an audience with it. So if you like want to record, and that's another thing. If you're a rookie, that's entertaining. You're doing something that's not really normal, that not most people do, and now you're documenting your whole time. It's a perfect opportunity if you want to jump into that content creator bag. It don't matter how old you is. Don't put no limit on that. So that's another good thing why I say if you're new to it, like I said, I'm only giving my perspective as a rookie trucker. If you've been in for years, you may think, yeah, no, he talking about he not a real trucker. He got sharp hands. I be laughing. I'll say that more. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. I pretty much got the inspiration because I wanted to do a year review of Prime, but if y'all watched my videos before, then y'all can see why I didn't do that. But I got the inspiration back again, watching Slime Pack. Shout out to Slime Pack Nation. And watching Romaine. Okay, he doing his thing in Texas. Okay, shoot, I'm gonna be out there with you one of these days. I ain't gonna tell you when, I'm gonna be out there, But once again, if y'all watch this video so far all the way to the end, thank you. Appreciate that. Y'all are initiated into Flock World. Welcome. Hey, you. Welcome. But make sure I hit the like button, hit the subscribe. I'm gonna be more active because I got some big news coming up. I ain't gonna say too much, but we getting there. We's getting there. Once again, let's roll with Vito, signing out. Y'all know the saying.
Don't forget to keep on trucking. And I'm out.
Ain't no stopping me. I ain't reached my peak.
Really been a while, but I've been feeling the time and it's right.